A listener production.
Hi, Bension Siebert here with your afternoon briefing. Police have charged a New South Wales police officer with the murder of former Channel 10 presenter and AFL umpire Jesse Baird and his partner, Qantas flight attendant Luke Davies. Constable Beau Lamar Condon has been charged with the couple's murder. At the time of recording, police divers have been searching dams in Goulburn, southwest of Sydney, looking for Baird and Davies' bodies. Often when we tell these stories, we focus on the criminal allegations. But Isaac Muller, a proud Wiradjuri and Palawa man, is one of Jesse's friends, and he wants Jesse remembered not for his death, but for the extraordinary person he was in life. Isaac, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Tell us how you knew Jesse.
So I didn't have the pleasure of knowing Jesse for a long time. I only knew him for the last 4 months. I moved to Sydney 4 months ago to work at Channel 10 for a short stint. He was this amazing, shiny TV star who just wowed a room every time he walked in. And then outside of that, you just kind of felt like nothing else existed.
Who was Jesse as a person?
Jesse was a very adventurous, spontaneous person. I think that's why we got along so well. He was a very, very close friend. He was, for many people, he was a loving brother, son, nephew. He was just an absolute gem. The way that everyone was drawn to him, he spent all his free time chatting about how much he loved everyone, telling me about everyone he knew, everyone that was important to him. And I think that just says a lot about his character.
That's beautiful. Do you have any favourite memories of Jesse?
So many. We went to a concert with a group of our friends from Channel 10. He invited me the first weekend that I started at Channel 10, and we went to this concert that he kept telling us for months after was one of the best nights of his life. And the way that that concert erupted in our little group, the way that everyone was laughing and cheering, it was just so amazing.
He sounds like a person who is really full of vibrancy and life.
He was.
How do you think you would like the world to remember Jesse?
As a gentle person, I feel like he was the guy who would talk about his friends and family for hours. He was the guy that would turn up the stereo when he hopped in the car and would scream song lyrics. He knew all the lyrics of songs, and I looked at him and I was like, you haven't said a single comment about the fact that I can't sing any of these lyrics right. And he was like, no, but it just makes me so happy seeing you happy. And that's who he was. That's who he really was.
You and your friends must be just devastated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been quite horrific. The unknown that continues to haunt us feels like torture. It's making us feel guilty, heartbroken, isolated. I think that the thought of his family that he was so close to not having the closure that they deserve is horrific. It's horrendous. And you can't really put into words the feelings that you feel. It's so confusing. It's so frustrating. It's so painful. Yeah.
How do you think the Sydney community will honour him?
In so many different ways. I think it's so painful trying to honour him because he was so alive. He was so positive. And that's what we're trying to do. It was meant to be his first Mardi Gras. He was so excited for it. And a couple of us went to one of the events and we kind of took turns breaking down and crying, but we would just kind of almost rotate, cheering each other on, like, no, that's not what Jesse would have wanted. Jesse would have wanted us to have fun. Jesse would have wanted us to dance. Jesse would have wanted us to scream. And then we would scream, and it was crazy. We would literally sound like cancer. Let's scream for Jesse. And we did it. And at the exact same time, someone behind us screamed at the exact same time, and it just gave us goosebumps. The way that I feel like he's still connected to the community, the way I still feel like he's alive and bringing life to an event that I know he would have been so involved in. That's how I think we're honouring his memory and staying connected to him.
Are you going to go to Mardi Gras on the weekend?
I am, I think. I'm still deciding, to be honest, but I really want to. I know that Jesse, this is going to be my first Mardi Gras. It's meant to be Jesse's. And I know how proud and happy he would have been to be there. And I feel like I want to do it for him, but it's so painful trying to balance emotions, trying to balance what's right and wrong, trying to balance the care you have for someone that isn't around anymore.
How's his family? Have you had a chance to speak with them?
I had a short chat with his brother. I know that they're very hurt and they're suffering a lot. I've spoken to his best friend of almost a decade, and everyone's just so devastated. He just started doing acting classes again. He was getting back into theatre, which he had done in high school. He was making new friends. He was exploring new things. He was reconnecting with his passions, and it just left everyone so devastated because everyone knows he had such a bright experience on this earth, and it wasn't over yet. He had so much more to do.
Just finally, Isaac, what's the one thing you'd like us to think about when we think about Jesse?
I think he was an entertainer on and off the screen. He was there to entertain. He was there to give life. He was there to spread positivity. And I think we need to remember that's what we all need to do, especially right now. You need to tell your loved ones that you love them. Like he would share his love for all his loved ones. You need to connect, go on adventures, spend life to the fullest the way he did for the last 4 months. Go crazy, scream when you want to scream, blast some music when you want to blast some music, live life the way he did for the last 4 months.
Isaac, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Isaac Muller there. And this story has been devastating, especially for Sydney's LGBTQ community, but also for people across the country. Look after yourself, and help is available if you need it. Call Lifeline on 13 11 14. That's it for today's afternoon briefing. We'll be back with your morning briefing from 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm Bension Siebert. Thanks for listening.